Anjali, can you? Is this okay?
Hello,
I put
ma'am.
this. Yes, I put
Yeah.
this banner. But it's all, I think, mirror image. I don't know what to do with that.
She has to put our Kanyathon, no? Ma'am, I'll send you. You have to put that backdrop, not this one. I'll just send you.
Okay, just send it to me. Yeah.
देखो रंजीता भेजे हैं रंजीता ना भेजे रंजना भेजे नहीं देखो बहुत व्यवस्थित है अच्छे दिन है
Ma'am.
Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Anjali, is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, can you give me a
Just
minute,
give me one
please?
second.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
even I need a minute. Huh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
हाँ मेरे को भेज दे, वेट कर दे, मेरी अभी मीटिंग है।
Ma'am, please let me know like when do you want me to start?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready actually.
Okay. Ma'am, may I start?
Yeah, just one second. Yeah.
I'm just Ranjani ma'am, just
Yes.
like tell me.
Hello, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am, you're audible.
Yeah. What did you ask? Sorry.
No, I just wanted to ask you like just let me know when you'll be able to join so that we can start.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah. So, ma'am, do you want me to continue?
Yes, we'll start. We'll not waste more time. I think we'll finish it. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. And ma'am, they'll join. Don't worry about that. They'll join.
Yes. No
Yeah.
problem at all. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. A very good evening to one and all present over here. This is Anjali Padodi, student of IFM institutions, and I will be the host for the day. She's a dreamer, she's a believer, she's a doer, she's an achiever, and that she is us. To all the beautiful women out there, a very happy Women's Day. You're the epitome of strength and courage. It's my pleasure to warmly welcome you all to today's session on Nutrition for Health in the series of Health Shots 2022 for Kanyathon. Kanyathon is the student annual sports-driven event. This year, it's packed with its 11th edition. The mission of Kanyathon is to empower women and girls, and we have achieved this through our own skills education sector called Kanyathon Shiksha Kendra. We have raised more than 48 lakhs in donations for the cause, adopted villages in Kolar, and have touched more than 3 lakh lives. I would now like to invite Ranjani Raman, a dietitian, child nutritionist, nutrition therapist, and certified diabetes educator. She is also certified by the University Grants Commission for the lectureship all over India and holds a life membership with Indian Dietitian Association, Nutrition Society of India, and Indian Association for Parental and Maternal Nutrition. Her great passion towards the subject made her quit the corporate world and start her own nutrition service company, Nutrition Tattva, originally called NutriLife, in 2013. She and her team of dietitians work towards a mission of offering various services such as nutrition counseling, personalized diet plans, corporate nutrition plans, school nutrition program, nutrition consulting, and menu plan for health-based companies, concept development for food startups, nutrition testing, nutrition blogging, wellness workshops, and many more. It's a great pleasure to have you here with us today, ma'am. I would ask all the participants to stay tuned with us for an amazing health buzz quiz and some amazing prize coming your way. So without further ado, let's begin today's evening. So are you all ready? My first question to Ms. Ranjani Raman would be, ma'am, what made you decide on a career in nutrition?
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, Anjali, first of all. And It's amazing to be here and see some amazing participants. So if I have to, you read a lot of introduction, right? So it's all about the credibility that we are adding, right? But what is very, very important is the passion towards what you want to do, right? So I was not in a nutrition, profession like maybe 10 years ago. So I was working for a corporate, but I had studied nutrition. So I was feeling there is a conflict, I had studied nutrition and what am I doing in a corporate job? So that question kept popping. And that is when I thought, okay, since I've studied my master's in nutrition, I thought, why not let me give it a try. And I think I went with my gut feeling. Something told me that I should not give up. So I just tried. And then for about 3 months, I did my trials. And then I felt this industry was booming. Somewhere I felt people needed help in terms of their health. And because I'd studied it, I felt it was the right time to make a move. So I think it was a very difficult decision because you're already settled in a good job and you don't really want to move or risk. But then today, I think when I fast forward 10 years, I think it is one of the best choices that I made. Right. So I think that is what. So it just started with just a case study, what I had studied it, and I really liked anything to do with food and health and all of that. So gradually, because you're passionate about it, I think it became a very natural, style for me to work around it. Yes.
That sounds so inspiring and exciting, ma'am. Please, we are excited to know about your Nutrition Tattva. Please tell us more.
Yeah, so basically, so it didn't originate as Nutrition Tattva, right? Again, like you said, I started with some small consulting, then I thought it is NutriLife. When you're a solo player for some time, right? You don't know what is happening around you. So I'm talking more from a student perspective because, for you, you must be wondering there is so much out there, but actually it is a lot of struggle here, right? So I'm just trying to give you the reality, what is happening. So it was very difficult initially. I was wondering because you're the sole, what do you call? You're your own accountant, you're your own salesperson, you're your own marketing person, you're your own finance team. Everything is only you, right? So you have to really try and pull yourself through with all the struggle, and you will have a lot of competitors. So all of that stuff. So initially, that's how it started. It just started with a one-woman show. And when I came in, already there were people of my age were already 10 years of experience in the industry. So I was still lagging behind, right? So it was a double race for me because I have to still come ahead with people at my age group and things like that. So that was a very difficult challenge. So then I think gradually, but then because of my corporate experience, it really helped me to, steer the path fast because I knew a lot of things, how to manage, how to talk to people, and all the skills were always there. So I just utilized all of those. And then I thought, okay, we should come up with something which is streamlined nutrition consulting. And then that's how Nutrition Tattva was born. And NutriLife initially was, people were thinking it was a product company. There was a lot of confusion. Again, I learned with time that, we have to, we should communicate the right thing. So then it became Nutrition Tattva. So Nutrition Tattva just means nutrition principles. So Tattva means principles, right? So we are just going to talk in our company. It's all about just nutrition principles, what we should follow. So we don't go by any fad diets like your keto diet, liquid diet. We don't do all of that, right? It's totally about eating healthy, understanding the right things. So that's how it all started. And now we are a team of about 6 dietitians and we have 1 operations head. So it's really grown well. And I think it's like a baby to me.
Ma'am, we are so delighted to have you today on the occasion of International Women's Day. It feels so motivating to your journey and it feels like we could relate it, and it is so motivating. Ma'am,
Yes.
As you said, you believe in keeping nutrition simple. Can you please tell us more about it?
So basically, I feel there is a lot of information about nutrition today where people have got confused. Okay, so it's totally confusing for a lot of people because every day you come across something new. Every day there is, conflicting. Today, somebody will tell you green tea is good for health, and tomorrow somebody will tell you green tea is bad for health. So you really don't know what you should choose. So I feel the core, objective for us is to kind of clear this confusion for you and to help you make, simpler choices. because eating healthy is not very difficult actually, but the world around has made it look so difficult for us, right? So you may fall for a lot of traps. You know, you will have something which is low sugar, low calorie diet and all of that stuff, but all that is actually not, you know, true. So it's about, you know, keeping that simple things like simple home cooked foods. How even in an Indian food, you don't really need to buy exotic avocados or broccolis and, you know, zucchinis to have your diet, right? You can just keep it with a simple lauki and your dal and your chawal, and you can still lose weight or you can still get healthy. So that is the whole idea. So when we are saying about keeping nutrition simple, it's more about how we can do something in a long term. So it's more about concepts rather than just following a plain diet, right? You know what you should eat, how much you should eat, when you should eat, what you should eat. So, and it's very specific for your body. Like what suits me may not suit you, Anjali, right? So it's very important for us to understand that. So keeping nutrition simple is some tagline that it developed with time for me, because I just kept telling, when during a consultation, I just kept telling people, you know what, you just have to keep nutrition simple, don't complicate it. This, I kept on telling this so much, and I realized people felt, you know, that was the most easiest takeaway for them, you know, because they would say, okay, we'll go to Ranjani Raman because she'll make it simple. She'll make it simple. So it just became like that and evolved. And finally, I just put the tagline, keeping nutrition simple. That's it. And I think it is working.
Yeah, ma'am, that's really interesting. Like, as you mentioned, ma'am, you require loads of like problem solving skills. So
Yes.
I'm eager to ask you, what's the most difficult problem you have to solve as a nutrition therapist?
See, as a nutritionist, the most difficult problem, according to me, is making people trust you. Okay, very difficult, because when they come itself, they would have done all their research about different medical conditions. You know, when they come, they already know about diabetes. They'll say, you know what, that doctor is saying this dietitian is saying this, what do you think? And they are not open to trust somebody.
Correct.
You know, you're always in the evaluation mode. The client is always trying to understand, okay, let us see whether, you know, Ranjani knows the subject. Let us see whether she's able to understand. They're always evaluating you for at least for about 1 or 2 weeks. Only after that, they actually trust you. So winning your client's trust is the most difficult problem. And I think this is there with every business. You know, firstly, they have to trust you. And getting that trust is where you actually struggle in the initial years. Later on, what happens, of course, you have people who will tell them that, you know what, she's good, so go for him, or you, anybody for that matter. And you will see online, you will do videos, you will do all of this. So people trust you because they feel, okay, this person knows something. But otherwise, I think that was the biggest problem for me initially, to convince people that, you know, this is okay, this logic is good, because people always felt eating simple foods, how can you become healthy? People never believed, you know. So it was a very difficult task for me to convince people that, you know, keeping simple is enough. That was one of the biggest problem. And the second problem was, you know, how people want quick solutions. It's very difficult to convince them for that. People want to take protein powders. People want to do some, you know, liquid diets. People tell me like, I want to lose, you know, 5 kgs in the next 2 weeks. Can you put me on a liquid diet? So they already come with their own, you know, diets and demands. So again, it's very difficult to convince them, you know, it's not the safest thing to do. So I think this is one of the biggest problem. And also sometimes the third deepest, I think this is the last I'll tell you. The third thing is clients, each person is very different.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's very difficult to understand what a person is thinking. So I think for me, it was more about getting into the person's head and trying to understand whether the person is liking it or not, whether the diet is something that they're enjoying, or making them open up and speak was a big problem. So I think having a very warm personality, talking to people, having an open interaction really helped. Again, you learn with time, you know, what all you should do.
Yeah.
So I think that those have been the toughest problems.
In our modern world, we tend to go for quicker solution, and that solution should actually work for us. Like,
yes,
we have Google, it confuses us, we go for it. And I know it's very hard, but
it's
ma'am,
very difficult.
But ma'am, what aspects of nutrition do you feel are like most important to address when you consult the clients?
Yeah, I think one of the most thing is the basics. You know, people don't even drink water. As simple as drinking water. I think the basics are something that needs a lot of correction. People are ready to drink infused water, jeera water. People are ready to take that extra effort to do something, but they're not ready to drink plain water. Right. So I always tell them, the simple things. People are ready to do, let us say, heavy workouts. People want to do weights. People want to go to a gym and enroll for a personal trainer, but they will not do a simple 30-minute walk.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes the first thing that needs to be addressed is for people to make it a lifestyle, just to make smaller changes in lifestyle. Sleeping early, getting some enough 7 to 8 hours of sleep, drinking more water, eating fruits, avoiding junk. These basics itself is very difficult to, kind of people to have. So I think basic correction is very important. Then comes your nourishment. Then comes your focused nourishment, because if you are a student who's probably, sleeping late, you have a lot of projects to do and you are running around. So you should know how much nutrients your body needs and how much you should give. Right.
Yeah.
So that is the next thing which we focus with people, that they have to know what is required for them and not just go by something which is there on the internet or books. So this is again the next thing that I think has to be addressed. And the third thing is probably giving people the education and empowering them to know wherever they are, in whatever situation they are in, they cannot blame that situation for not eating healthy. You can't say like, I'm traveling, so I'm not eating healthy. My exams are going on, so I'm not eating healthy. So you can't say all of these reasons, because your body needs your nutrients irrespective of your exam day or a holiday or a Sunday. Right. So these are the basic things that we need to really kind of, I feel, are aspects that needs to be addressed for people.
Yeah. As you mentioned, like the basic requirements, but like what according to you are the most like basic top 3 things that are necessary
water.
For someone
Definitely
to improve?
Definitely water first. I think you can't see the bottle. Yeah, but water bottle. I think we all should have one water bottle all the time with us. All right. And you should make sure that we are drinking at least about 2 to 3 liters of water every day. This itself will solve a lot of issues. It can be digestive issues. It can be your skin issues. It can be dehydration. Whatever it is, I think water is the most important nutrient, if you ask me. The second thing when it comes to diet is including a lot of fruits and vegetables. This may seem very, very boring, but boring activity, but it's very important, because a lot of micronutrients are important for us. And I think it is with a lot of variety of fruits and vegetables. So just by making sure you're planning your snacks, like you can just carry some fruits with you wherever you go. Even if you're out, you can just probably pick a fruit juice, instead of aerated drinks. Or you could just in your regular eating also increase your intake of vegetables and fruits. So I think that is the second thing that I would say. The third thing that really helps is having a light and an early dinner. So dinner, if we can please, normally what happens is dinner is the most heaviest meal for us.
Yeah.
And normally we just are busy. By end of the day, we just want to probably binge watch something and eat something heavy. But that is the most wrong thing to do again. So, if you can close your dinner early and light, that is also a very, very good practice. These 3 practices, if you are following, at least your health will be in place.
Yeah. Correct, ma'am. And ma'am, like which type of populations do you have experience like working with?
I think we have worked actually for a lot of people. COVID was it was bad, right? The entire pandemic was bad. But in our case, I think it was a blessing for us, because we had a lot of people becoming more focused on health, and in our we do a lot of consulting for online, and almost 50 to 60% of our clients are abroad, Indians living abroad.
Oh.
All right. So because for them, they wanted some Indian dietitian who can help them, because they are basically Indians. So they don't know, in foreign countries, the foreign dietitians will not understand their eating habits. If they tell, I want to eat roti or chila, the foreign dietitians will not understand what a chila is or what a poha is. Right. So they would want to have a consulting with an Indian dietitian. So I think that really helped us, and a lot of people became more health conscious, because of which I think, so our population, if you see demographies across the world, all countries we have, most often our programs are focused on medical conditions and digestive issues and weight loss. So we do have a lot of, women and men. It's a good mix of women and men. Children are there, few children, if there are issues. Usually adolescents and adults we don't do sports nutrition. Sports is a very big area. Sports is again a different concept altogether. So we don't do sports nutrition.
And like, ma'am, like what are the different diets that keep trending in the market? Like you open Instagram, you open Facebook, and we see different types of diets trending, and like eat this, don't eat this, eat before 7. So much of information. Like how can one identify what is the best diet?
So I'll tell you something that you think you're not putting your body into extreme, first of all. The moment, see, we just saw recently what happened to Shane Warne. We don't know if it is right or wrong, but he was on a 14-day liquid diet, and it just ruined it. So it's like that. So you really can't put your body into extreme conditions just to kind of lose weight or anything. Anything extreme is bad, right? Extreme water, extreme fluids, or extreme vegetables, extreme protein, anything which is very high. The moment it says high fat, high protein, it's always better to think twice, and not go for all of that, because our body, once it is damaged, it cannot be reversed. All right.
Correct.
So that is very important. So first is that. Second thing is, these trends are going to be, they're called trends for a reason, because it is only going to be a short-lived. It is not going to be a long-lived. That's why it's a trends, diet trends, right? So these trends are basically sometimes even funded, sometimes promoted, marketed. So if you see the last year, there was a lot of discussion about ketogenic diet. So people were talking about keto diet everywhere. This year, it is intermittent fasting. You will see a lot of people talking about fasting, 18 hours of fasting and 16 hours of fasting and all of that stuff. Every year, there will be some new trend that is going to come up.
Yeah.
And what is important is to not follow any of these trends.
Yeah.
Okay. The basics are always basics, just like probably how we read in our 5th standard, 6th standard science books, carbohydrate, protein, fat, and vitamins and minerals. I think that is what stays for long, balanced diet. Okay. So I would say always make sure that you're eating a balance and eat something that your body's used to. Like, for example, if you are someone who's in the north and you've been eating rotis and you've been parathas, you continue eating that, something which your body can adapt to. And probably you may have to reduce the quantity. You may have to just increase vegetables. You may have to reduce junk and all of that stuff, but that's okay. If you're a South Indian and if you want, then you can stick to your South Indian foods, right?
Yeah.
Eat something that you're not naturally used to eating. And don't just change to, okay, because I want to lose weight, let me eat chapati. And if you're a South Indian, you may not really tolerate too much of chapati all the time. There is a reason why, we were eating these foods in the past, right?
Yeah.
So that is the thing. So we need to really understand that, we have to eat something which our body is naturally adapted to. Traditionally, what we have been eating from our ancestors, like our grandparents, whatever they were eating. So if you're eating at least 60-70% of the same food, because genetically you are tuned to eat like that. So today, a lot of disorders are coming in only because we are not eating like this, right? We are normally eating a lot of French fries, burgers, pizzas. We are not even eating something which is aligned with our genetics. It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying you should avoid completely, but what I'm saying is like 80%, because you're all youngsters, and I think it'll not make sense if I tell you to not eat any of these things. But yeah, 80% of the time, if you're eating healthy, then maybe a 20% indulgence when you're meeting your friends or, once in a while, it's perfectly fine. But you should have that balance.
Yeah, ma'am, like as you mentioned, like we should not skip our basic diet. If we are eating chapati, we should keep continuing it.
Yeah.
So ma'am, like we heard myths like rice increases the weight, but it's the staple diet, one of the main food. So I have seen people skipping rice just to avoid gaining weight. So what can I suggest them?
No, I think rice is it's an emotion also for a lot of people, right? We all like eating rice. It's not just,
I understand.
Yeah. So the thing is, of course, because it is polished, that is why rice is a problem. And the second thing is, when you eat rice, you can't eat less, right? You really want a lot of rice. So rice with dal, you rice with rasam, rice with curd.
Rajma.
You really rajma. So you want a lot of rice. So quantity is also more. So that is the reason, rice itself is not a problem, but the quantity of rice we eat is the huge problem. So we normally recommend people to switch to brown rice or things like that, which is a little unpolished, because if it is brown, then you can't eat so much. You can at least restrict your quantities and you'll still feel like you ate rice. So that kind of a modification is definitely important.
Yeah, ma'am, like as you mentioned about the brown rice. So like the product industry, like there are so many products. So
Yeah.
where should one go for? Like, I should go for it or I should not go for it? What should
No,
I
no,
do?
you can. I think a lot of good companies are also coming in, which have a
Yeah.
lot of like millets, brown rice, quinoas, broken wheat. A lot of healthier versions are coming in. Of course, the package has to mention it is unpolished and they have to be a proper certified, you will see on the label FSSAI certified or something like that. So they are okay. At least it's not bad because these are all raw ingredients, so they cannot modify it, because these are raw ingredients. Like for example, if you're having, let us say, Saffola oats or Masala Oats, right? Now, Masala Oats is a mix of many ingredients,
Yeah.
right? So it has masala, it has spices, it has flavors, it has preservatives and all of that. So Masala Oats is not healthy, but a plain oats is healthy because it does not have anything added to it. It's a raw ingredient. It's a first-hand raw ingredient. So you can buy oats and then you can probably add your own masalas and vegetables and make it healthy, but do not opt for something which is preserved or packaged and made with additional flavors. So that's how you should know, right? Raw ingredients are fine. It just have to be mentioned unpolished, and ingredient label should have just one ingredient.
Ma'am, as you mentioned, like the ingredient label on the product. So like what should one focus more on? Like we have carbohydrates, fats, like proteins. What is the one most important ingredient we should like mainly focus on if you're buying a product?
Yeah. So we do a specific workshop
And
on reading
not
food
focus,
labels.
like avoid.
Yeah. No. We do a complete workshop
I'm
on
so
reading
sorry.
food labels. So reading food label itself is a big task. It's a lot of learning. It's a course as such, we normally tell people. But for a simpler starter, I would tell you a few things. See, the first ingredient in the ingredient list. So if you have a package and if you have a ingredient list, right? So the first ingredient is something that is, like, for example, I'll just show you this. I don't know, I have a chicky wrapper here. So I thought, because it was not planned, so it is here. So now the first ingredient that you see is the maximum, is available in maximum in that ingredient. Okay. Now, for example, if you take breads, if the first ingredient is refined flour, that's completely maida, which is bad for you. Okay, so the first ingredient itself should tell you, no, I'm not taking. The amount of the labeling is done in such a manner that whatever comes first is the most present in that food. Whatever comes second is the next amount. So whatever is the first, in the first three, if you're seeing sugar, you should not eat that.
You should not. Okay.
In the first three ingredients itself, if you see something refined or if you see something sugar, added sugars, it's very important to avoid it. And here, if you see, the first ingredient is peanut. So it's a peanut chicky, basically. Paper boat ka peanut chicky. So the first ingredient is peanut, right? So, which is okay. Peanuts are fine for us. And the second ingredient I see is jaggery. So still okay, right? And still, if you see, it does contain sugar. The third ingredient is sugar. We normally may not see this on a chicky. We say, okay, chicky is healthy, so we will take it, but still it contains sugar. So this is how you will have to understand. And you will also have to look for added labels like low fat, high fiber, no GMO, pesticide free, and all of that stuff. So, those are also sometimes just to distract us. We may not see backside, because of that. We may see that high fiber and think it's very healthy. We'll just pick it up. But behind there will be a lot of bad things which we may not see. So that is also a way of marketing, strategy, where they distract your clients to see those things. These are two things that you should remember. And sugar is also in different ways it is named. It won't be called as sugar. So in this case, you see liquid glucose, there is dextrose, there is maltose, a lot of different names for sugar. So people may think they don't know sugar. They just think it is some ingredient, but it is all sugar. So if your sugar is more and fat is more, it's important that then there is something called trans fats. So if trans fat is high, then you should not. So I think these are things that I would say just avoid processed and packaged foods. As much as possible, just avoid anything that is packaged and processed.
Yeah. And ma'am, like as you mentioned before, like we should not like keeping life like nutrition simple. So coordinating with that, like we have to work on our diet, like correcting it. So like what would you suggest? Like how should a person start first before correcting his diet?
Yeah, see, first, yesterday also I did a workshop on this thing only. So I'll tell you, the first thing is you should know why you want to correct your diet, right? whether you are having a health issue, or whether you're feeling tired and low on energy, or whether you feel something is not wrong, something is not right, or probably you're feeling you're increasing weight, your weight is going high, or you're losing a lot of weight, all that is possible. So firstly, you should understand why you want to change your diet, right? Once you have that why, you will also have a reason as to, you have a goal now, right? Like, let us say you want to lose weight. So the first step is about identifying that why. Okay, let me maybe, okay, saying that, okay, I need to kind of lose maybe 5 kgs. So you have a good reason, okay, good goal, and why you have to do this. I want to lose this 5 kgs because I want to be healthy, or probably there is a wedding to attend in the next 2 months. I have to be in my best shape, or probably I want to be much more fit or something. You need to have a good why, a strong why, because if you don't have a why, or if you don't have a reason, you will not do it. As simple as that. Okay, so first step is about identifying the reason why you want to do it. The second step is about elimination. Second step is elimination, which means you are going to go through what you were eating and see what all you should eliminate first. Like, okay, I'm eating a lot of sugar, I think I should stop this. Or I'm eating a lot of junk food. I'm eating out a lot. I'm probably ordering a lot. So it's about accepting what mistakes you're doing. Oh yeah, I'm not, I think I should cut down on sugar. I think I should cut down on junk. So this kind of a elimination, what all you can eliminate, you have to figure out. And you have to first, that is the second step where you're eliminating. So you're saying, okay, from tomorrow, I'm going to cut down my sugar. Or from tomorrow, I'm going to reduce from 3 chapatis, I'm going to reduce to 2 chapatis. Something like this. So that is the next step where you're eliminating. Okay. The third step is about modification. So now you've eliminated. So you have a strong reason, you've eliminated some things. Now the third thing is, what can I replace? Now, for example, okay, I'm not going to eat a snack which is sugary. So what can I do? So instead of that, can I have some fruits, or can I have some nuts? You have to modify, because if you don't fill in that void, you will end up eating junk. Right? So you make it sure you're buying and coming a lot of fruits, you're stocking on nuts, you're keeping some dry fruits, so that you're not going to, make wrong choices. So the third thing is modification. So you're modifying whatever you're eating. You're keeping some options, or maybe your roti, or making it a healthier roti, or like you said, white rice, we are making it a brown rice, or, you're increasing your vegetable intake. Probably you're not eating curd or buttermilk. Now you would say, okay, let me include it in my diet. So you're modifying whatever. Maybe you were drinking aerated drinks. You're saying, okay, now let me stop it, and maybe I'll drink buttermilk, or probably I'll drink fruit juice. So this kind of modification is required. That is the third step. Then finally, the fourth step after that is consistency. So just by doing for about a week, you'll not see results. You need to be consistent, right? It has to happen over a long time. It has to happen every single day. If you say, okay, 40 minutes I'm going to do for my walks, you have to do it at least, 4-5 days a week, so to see some significant improvement. So it is about consistency, and consistency is the key for anything in life. Not just about diet, right? Anywhere, you can't just do with one night. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It has to be consistent. So next is your consistency. And finally, once in 2 weeks or once periodically, you should evaluate your progress, and you should celebrate your progress. Like, for example, let's say 2 weeks, you did well, you lost 1 kg, 2 kgs, and you feel good about it. You celebrate, you see what worked for you. What is it that you can improve? So you have to evaluate yourself once in 2 weeks, and then say, okay, fine, this is something that I will do. And then again, restart the same cycle. So this is a simple way of, kind of thinking for yourself and modifying your own activities.
Like, as you mentioned, like, consistency is the key for success, but also nutrition. Like, many people, they are focused on losing weight. So like, you might have met people who are like, ma'am, I want to lose my weight like in 30 days. I want to lose my weight in a week. I want to go for a party. So how do you address them? Like, how do you make them understand that you need to be consistent? And like, please tell us.
No, a lot of counseling. We really talk to them a lot and tell them, you don't have to, really go behind numbers, because you're just abusing your body. So we really try to do a lot of counseling. And that's why, it's not like a doctor, right? If you're a doctor, I can just prescribe medicines and send you. But when you're in a profession like, maybe anything that involves people counseling, like can be nutrition counseling, psychological counseling, fitness counseling, whatever it is, it takes a lot of time for us to talk to the client and tell them, to convince them a lot of things, because, we would have even convinced them for 1 hour, 2 hours, and finally the next day they will again tell, I want to lose. It doesn't happen overnight. Again, we have to keep doing this, again and again. We keep reminding them, don't worry about it. It's not about the numbers, it's about health. So, it's an ongoing process. So we have to keep reminding people about it. And we also encourage them to not get pressurized by the social media or by media personalities, looking at celebrities and losing weight. So we definitely think all this impacts a lot. So we encourage people to watch something positive, good series. We refer some, movies, things which really inspires us to not really go behind numbers. And I think a lot of these multiple ways of addressing helps.
Yeah, ma'am. As like ma'am, you spoke about influencers, celebrities. So we people, like, we don't have knowledge about nutrition and other aspects. So we always tend to follow what our influencer is telling us, what the celebrity is guiding us. So like, what about the other aspects of lifestyle? Like, what should we do apart from working on the diet and nutrition and should follow?
Definitely. Yeah, if you ask me, one of the most important thing, I would say sleep.
Sleep.
More than even exercise and water and all of that, I would say sleep is very, very important. Okay.
Yeah.
Please, and not sleeping at the odd hours, of course. It's not like you're sleeping at 2 o'clock in the morning and waking up at 11 o'clock. Not that kind of sleep. We're talking about sleep which involves a proper regular sleep routine, sleep time. Like maybe it could be even 11 o'clock you're sleeping or 12 o'clock, whatever it is, but it should be at least about 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep.
Yeah.
So I always believe if you sleep well, you are able to think better, you're able to, make better choices, you're not stressed. So a lot of things happen when you sleep better. So I think sleep is one of the most important factor. And the second thing is exercise, some form of exercise. It is not necessary that you should work out or have a personal trainer or anything like that. It could be anything. It could be a dance workout, it could be yoga, it could be walk. It could be anything that you enjoy, but at least about 40 minutes is something that will definitely keep us very healthy from the lifestyle view. And I think the third thing is stress, a lot of stress management, because stress is again a bigger killer compared to anything else. So if you're just taking unnecessary stress, and that itself will also again spoil our health. So stress management also is very important. I think these three things are very important. And of course, water intake. I always emphasize on that. So water is important. Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm sure like all the people listening to this will work on their water intake and will definitely carry a bottle all around and remember.
Yes.
Your
Please
guidance.
carry a bottle. I'll tell you, you will thank me later for this habit.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
one of the biggest habit. It's the simplest habit for us, but
Correct.
with biggest
Correct.
benefit. Right.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say, please, if you all think that you will do this, please type an S on the chat box and let us know that yes, you will drink more water.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, like in the
thank you, Satya, for that. Yes. Very glad, very happy to know, because it looks very simple, but yes, it is one of the most important things. So Suman, yes, happy. Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. And like they're chatting in the chat box, they're saying yes. So, ma'am, moving on further, like, would you consider collaborating with like other health experts to help a client achieve optimum health?
So we normally already do, like, we do, because it's not a unidirectional approach. So it has to be a multifaceted approach, because, just by correcting diet, it doesn't work. So sometimes we do refer our clients to a fitness trainer or a yoga trainer, because we feel that the client requires something more. Sometimes we refer them to psychological counselor, because when we feel they're psychologically impacted, we do tell them that why don't you meet a counselor and talk to them, because we can't address everything. Similarly, we have meditation experts. When I see clients who are very disturbed, stressed, then I ask them, would you be okay to just talk to a meditation expert and try to understand, so that it will help them. So it is always a teamwork. When it comes to fitness and health, we always have these experts in our contact list, so that we can always refer them to our clients, because it's important. I cannot, right? Initially, I did this mistake as a student. For you all, I'm telling you, initially I thought okay, I'll do everything, right? You will think why I should, find other people and all of that. You will think, okay, let me do it. So initially I thought, okay, what I'll do is in Nutrition Tattva itself, we'll keep experts. I thought we'll keep yoga expert. I'll have one yoga expert with me. I thought I'll have one fitness expert with me, everything. But then, what happened? I was spending more time on that rather than my nutrition expertise, right? Then I realized, you have to always respect another expert, and you should just give it which is not your domain. So if you are not good at something, or if you're not someone who will enjoy something naturally, you should just give it to someone who really does it. That's the best way to work. And I think since then, I just refer people to people if I feel that they will be of help. It's always like that.
Ma'am, that sounds really good. Like the connection you have meant with people and the connect you are driving, that's really, really very good to hear. Ma'am, I want to ask you one question. Like, can you please share one of the best experience you have had till now? And like one of the best day or moment of your whole journey? Because it's so motivating.
No, I think for me, you see, I gain my strength from my clients, all right? Because the moment I see that they are doing great, and the moment, they just give you, because our programs are about 3 months long. So everybody is with us for 3 months. At the end of 3 months, when we see that the client has achieved something, it really makes us so happy that, you feel like, okay, this is your purpose. So, you really feel like your life is, set, kind of a thing. So that is what I think keeps me, going and keeps me driving. And I think that making a difference in another person's life is what it is. And this we come across almost every single day, right? Because we are working with clients and we look forward to it, and we just want to do this to clients, and that is what keeps us. But yes, there have been few moments where we have been like, where it has been much more emotional, and things like that and all. Yeah, I think there are so many I'm not able to remember, but yes, I can remember one of the, there was this couple who were trying to have a child conceive, and they had tried multiple ways of conception because of their fertility issues. They had gone multiple rounds of IVF and all of those things, which really costed them like about, so many lakhs for them. And finally they felt, they were just fed up of everything. And then they said, we will just work on our lifestyle and eating habits. So I still remember the first counseling wherein they were literally in tears, and they had tried for baby for almost like some 7-8 years. And then finally they said, we have given up. And they just said, we want to work on our weight loss and just eat clean. So they just started on the program, and just in about 8 weeks of the program, she got pregnant. And this is, I can't say it is only because of the diet. It could be multiple reasons, but of course, diet definitely propelled, because they were eating healthy, and, their mindset was changed and everything. And it was so good. They were so emotional, and they just literally, they were in tears, many things. And now the baby is like almost like 1-year-old girl and all. It's very cute, but then, these are all some small things that you feel, okay, you really helped someone's life. So that really, makes us feel good.
Ma'am, I'm so delighted. Like, I'm so happy to ask the question to you so that it can bring a good smile on your face. And I can actually imagine, like, how would you feel when someone would text their experience or would actually communicate to you how good they feel after like going through whole process
Yes,
and
a
your
lot of
walking
times.
experience with you.
Lot of things, even wedding, they would try to lose weight for the wedding, and on
Correct,
the wedding they'll send us selfies from their, from their wedding stage, saying, see how I'm looking. It's so good, it feels good.
Yeah, ma'am, that's really amusing. Ma'am, I would now like ask the audience to address any questions and put the questions in the chat box if they have any, so that we can also address them.
Yes, I'll be more than happy to answer if you have any questions with regards to diet, or maybe entrepreneurship, or anything.
Please, everybody listening, please put any questions if you have in the chat box.
Yeah, how many hours of sleep is required? Yeah. So I'll address that now. So basically, one second. So basically, Mahesh, very good question, because I think sleep is a big, issue. I think, it is more of the quality of sleep rather than the amount of hours we are sleeping. Okay, if you're sleeping for 10 hours, 12 hours, but if you're having disturbed sleep, that is still not a great thing. So, okay, great. So I would say at least about 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep is important. For good quality sleep and a regular sleep routine. Like, for example, if you're sleeping at 11 o'clock every day, then every day you must keep that as a routine, not like sleeping one day at 10 o'clock, one day at 12 o'clock. So that is important. So having a regular sleep routine of about, say, 7 to 8 hours of a good quality sleep is good. And how many glasses of water daily? If you're a healthy adult with no medical conditions and everything, and if you're doing a regular activity and eating healthy, at least about 2.5 to 3 liters of water is good. You should not overdo on water. Please don't drink 4-5 liters of water, because that can actually flush out a lot of electrolytes from your body and you can become weak. So it's important that you're just sticking to about 2.5 to 3 liters of water. That should be good enough. But if you're someone who's drinking very less now, don't just increase your water intake just like that. Make it a gradual process. Like, maybe now next week you can drink about 1 liter, then slowly increase it to 1.5, then 2 liters. So gradually get your body used to it. But about 2 to 3 liters should be good.
Yeah. Any questions more? I'll check, ma'am.
I'm seeing the chat too. Any questions, comments? Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody, please comment or
shouldn't we
question
take
if
a
you
lot of
have any.
water?
You can also
Yeah, I would say, Mahesh, yes, it's always better to take the water split throughout the day. Morning times, if you're drinking about half a liter of water, is good. It's fine, because you've not still started your day. So early morning, about 500 ml water is definitely fine. A little more also is okay, because you're just starting your day. But later on, we would prefer to have it split in smaller portions, because your body already also has other foods. So if you drink a lot of water, it can dilute your digestive juices. That is why we would say drink it through the day in sips. But early morning, drinking about half a liter to 3/4 of a liter is definitely fine.
okay. Is there any other questions?
Any other questions? Please mention the foods to avoid for thyroid patients. Great. So thyroid is, basically a hormonal condition. So, so it's important to address it from different angles. One is see, the thyroid, any hormone for that matter, works based on how regulated your body is. So if you have any hormonal condition, it is important to regulate your timings. That is your first step. So ensure your meal timings, sleep timings, and exercise timings are set. That's very important, because when you regulate your body, your hormones also get regulated better. Second thing is, there is nothing to avoid as such. Like, definitely one food group is soya products. Any soy products, it could be soya milk, tofu, soya beans, soya chunks. All of this can actually increase your thyroid levels. So if you have a thyroid issues, and it's better to avoid it, or keep soya chunks maybe once in 2-3 weeks or something like that. All right. And the third thing is, it is not true that you should avoid cauliflower, cabbage, broccoli, because a lot of times people tell that you should avoid these cruciferous, vegetables. It is a myth. You should avoid them when it is raw. If it is cooked, you don't have to avoid. Okay, and you can include it once a week. There is no issues. So these are things that you should keep in mind. And can we get rid of gallstones by proper diet? Yes, Mahesh, definitely you can. If it depends on what is the size, and if it is how severe it is. But if it is small gallstones, and if it's not very risky, if the doctor has said that you can get it cleared, it is definitely possible with some good healthy eating and a lot of good drinking, a lot of water, and avoiding certain foods. It is possible, unless it is not causing any issues. But it will take a lot of time. Yeah, Mahesh, but it will take a lot of time. It won't happen overnight. It will take some time. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for addressing the questions. Guys, if you have any questions, please put in the comment box. We'll further continue. Yeah. So, ma'am, the session, okay. Millets are good for health. Yes.
Millets are fine for thyroid patients. Maybe I think you're referring to that. Thyroid issues also, sometimes they say including too much of millets can be bad. So, but if you're including it again like 2-3 times a week, it should not be an issue. So that is not an issue. You need a lot of quantity of millets to get a disturbance to the thyroid. So just eating a little bit, in at least maybe 3 times a week should not have a huge impact. So you can keep replacing millets, brown rice, broken wheat, such kind of things, so that it is balanced overall. Can we do long-term fasting with coconut water and plain water? Mahesh, fasting is okay. Coconut water is something that is very specific for every person, depending on their electrolyte levels, blood pressure, because it's very high on potassium. It can actually reduce your BP too much. So it has to be taken very carefully. So that is one thing we have to keep in mind. Plain water is fine. And I think once in a while, doing a water fasting, which we do in Indian practices, once in 15 days, once in a month, like a Ekadashi fasting or something like that, is okay, as long as you're able to tolerate it. But just overloading on coconut water may be slightly disturbing your blood pressure. Okay, so Suman says, you also see in today's life people taking fast foods which is in the market, so you must also be seeing an everyday basis. What is your mindset? Do you also try it and you don't eat them? Yeah, good question. See, fast foods, I always feel 80%, that's what I was saying. 80% you have to, balance, so that a little bit once in a while, because we're all humans, right? We're all social beings. So we all have those cravings for eating some junk or some chatpata, something, or cheesy food. We all have that cravings. What I'm saying is like 80% of the time, yes, try to eat healthy whenever you have a scope. If you're at home, eat healthy and all of that, because once in a while you may go for a birthday party, you might go for a get together. You can enjoy there. If you're all the time eating junk, then you don't really feel good about it. So that is one thing I also follow. So I feel as much as possible when I'm at home, I try to eat healthy, so that when I go out, I can let like little bit chill out and have a little bit of junk. So I would say, and also choose your junk, what you like. So that is another thing I tell people. So you can't really avoid junk, okay? But you may have certain favorites. It's not like you will enjoy everything, right? For somebody, though, you may like pasta. Somebody may like pizza. You may not like, biryanis. You may be something like that. Somebody may be a huge biryani fan and they can give up anything else but not biryani. So you can actually identify what is your best favorite junk and give that allocation to only that junk. Just eat that and be done with it. Don't eat anything else which you really don't enjoy. Like, for example, because you asked personally, I'm trying to tell you, like, I don't enjoy chips. I don't enjoy biscuits. So if I don't enjoy, it doesn't make sense for me to eat. So I have made an effort to just try to stop it. But I also enjoy, I enjoy pastries. I enjoy cakes. So once in a while, I think I feel, okay, let me give into it. So this is something. So you are choosing something. So even in the junk, you're actually feeling, okay, even if I'm eating, let me feel good about it. Let me enjoy it fully. So that kind of a thing. So at least if you do that also, you can kind of balance it. Mahesh, what about stuffed parathas? I am a North Indian and love it. I am a South Indian and I love parathas. Okay, so I can relate to it. So I would say, it is the quantity. The mistake with parathas is it's the quantity. If you're eating a lot of parathas, then definitely it is bad. It will stuff. You should not stuff stuffed parathas. Okay, that is one thing. The second thing is butter. The butter that goes with the amount of parathas. So paratha itself is not probably bad, but the amount of butter that gets added and ghee that goes into it, that is the problem. So if you can reduce that intake or probably avoid butter and just put a little bit of desi ghee, it is okay. So anything in moderation, quantity, and eating it in a daytime, probably eating it for breakfast or lunch, so that you can burn the calories for the rest of the day and not eating it for late night dinner. So it all depends on what time you eat, how much you eat, and all of that. Yeah, so what could be done for people who are in hostels, as we cannot customize meal? Yeah, Kavya, I totally understand this. So I think one of the things that you can definitely work on is probably trying to use some simple things that can be easily cooked, because we have clients with who stay in hostel and we try to help them, and we do tell them, like, probably if you eat eggs, yes, eggs can be made, oats can be made. Fruits can be a huge dependency. Like, you can depend on foods that is naturally consumed, like fruits, tender coconut water, fresh juices, all of these things, because you really can't, make these, or you can't make other snacks. So you can choose this. And whatever meal you're eating in hostel, try to kind of moderate the quantity and make sure there is more vegetables. If there is no vegetables, then you try to at least have cucumbers or something like that when you're sitting in the room and, when you're munching on something. So some way you should balance. And if you open up your mind, there are many possibilities. Tender coconut on a daily basis, if you're a healthy individual, it's okay, but I normally recommend maybe only 3 to 4 times a week. Okay. And Mahesh, what about taking milk? Some people say it's good. It's not like vegan people. So just today evening, I did an Instagram live with Akshay Kalpa Milk, the organic milk producer. I have put it on my Instagram live. You guys can check it out. So we were talking about milk and organic milk. So if the milk is organic from Desi cow, and if it is not, with growth hormones and induced with chemicals and all of that, then it is all right to consume milk. Okay. But generally milk is like, but if it is chemically processed, if it has all of these things, then milk can be a little, it can disturb our hormones basically. So that is the reason, that is the thing, conflict with milk. So try to look for something desi and something which is more organic. I think that can help you. More than milk, I feel buttermilk or curd is better because of their probiotic nature, where you have good healthy gut bacteria. What about eating in buffet? The buffets are the killers. Okay, they are the killers, because they just, first of all, you're paying so much money, so you will feel like, I don't want to waste anything, right? First thing, that is the biggest mistake. That's a biggest mistake with buffet. So I normally tell my clients, please go for a la carte, never go for a buffet, because it is very, very difficult. Price wise, yes, it is good, but you just stuff everything, and even our body is so confused, because there is a chaat, there is a sweet, there is a pizza, there is a pasta, it's all mixed up.
Everything,
Body is totally messed up. So I would definitely say try and avoid buffet as much as possible. But even if you end up going because of because of various reasons, then it could definitely be for a lunch buffet rather than a dinner buffet. That is the second thing. So that the second half of the day you can just keep it light and try to avoid anything else, so that that day the damage is kind of minimized. And when you go for a buffet also, it's not mandatory that you should eat everything. All right. So you have to have that control and just go around, see everything, and then, pick whatever is the most important, something that you can. So in the mind, always fix that you don't want to eat everything. So this is a little risk with buffet. So if you don't have that control, then don't go for a buffet. That is.
Yeah. And ma'am, like, what about the vegan people, like vegan food? Like, we have seen veganism growing. Like everybody is going for vegan milk. Like everybody are facing this problem. So what are your views about it? Like, is it healthy and we should follow it on our nutrition diet, or we should, like, are you in a support of vegan food, or do you not recommend vegan?
See, vegan is a philosophy. Okay. So a lot vegan, the philosophy started because people didn't want to harm animals.
Okay.
The whole concept is about not hurting animals or not using any animal products, because they want to protect the animals.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the whole philosophy of vegan. So if you are someone who believes in that philosophy and you're following vegan, I'm highly supportive of it. Because that is true, because we are hurting animals, we are probably doing all of that stuff to get that particular food. So if that is a philosophy, yes, then veganism is fine. But today, a lot of people are doing vegan thinking that it is good for health, or probably it is good for weight loss. And they talk a lot of those things. I think that I do not approve. I feel it is okay. It is not so bad. Like people say, milk is not that bad as people claim. And like I said, if you're choosing organic or right source of milk, I don't think it's a huge issue. You don't have to complicate yourself to become a vegan. Right. And the third thing is, vegan is expensive. If you have to become vegan, you will be stopping all kinds of milk products, and you will have to replace a lot of these nutrients through a lot of other things. So you need to have substitute milk, substitute curd. So you end up making almond milk, soy milk, all of this, so many things, which just ends up in a little expensive affair. So, and that may not be sustainable at all the times. And it will also give you some deficiencies. I know recently someone who was on vegan for a long time, and suddenly they realized that B12 levels were very low. Vitamin B12 levels went very low, and finally the person changed back to eating normal diet. So if you're doing that for the sake of doing, it's not something that I would want to follow. But if it's a philosophy, I absolutely respect it, and I think that is a good way to follow veganism. That is good.
Ma'am, I think we have a question.
Milk
Will you
brand.
just, yeah.
Nothing specific brand, Mahesh. I think I just explored Akshay Kalpa myself, and I think it is okay. So, I'm just trying. Of course, the cost and all is a little different. So that is something that I'm trying and exploring. So we need to look at organic options.
I think ma'am will end up and
Yes.
yeah. Ma'am, the session surfaced heights in letting us know the significance of nutrition. Thank you so much, ma'am. It feels like you have guided us, and made us believe that rather than spending money on food, we should follow keeping it simple and good and healthy and drinking loads of water.
Yes.
Thank you so
lot
much,
of
ma'am.
water. Yes. Water.
Yeah. Also, everyone, you can check out Miss Ranjani Raman on her social media platforms. Please follow her, and she's on Instagram, Facebook, along with LinkedIn. And ma'am, is there any please share your links with me, ma'am. I'll share it.
Yeah,
To
no
everybody.
problem. No
Yeah.
problem. I think, I'm very happy to be here. And I think
Yeah.
it definitely feels good, to always talk about nutrition. I enjoy doing it. So I'm glad I'm able to share some insights. I'm usually very active on social media. So please do connect with me. And if you have any questions, drop in. I'll be happy to answer.
Yeah. A big shout out to our Oracle volunteers for supporting and making this event turn out into such massive heights. Now, since we are done with the session, let's have a quick quiz, ma'am. I would ask all of you to take part in the quiz, and the person who uploads the first correct answer to the question on the Kanyathon Instagram page gets amazing goodies coming your way. So, are you all excited for the Help Us quiz of the day? Let's begin.
Yes.
Today's question is, what was Nutrition Tattva initially known as? As we had to talk, ma'am, and you also mentioned about it, I'll repeat the question. What was Nutrition Tattva initially known as? So please, guys, go to Instagram and please put the correct answer. We shall announce the winners very soon. And now I would like to announce the winners for the quiz held for yesterday's session. And the winner is Ananya Rajput. Congratulations, Ananya. There was a session, ma'am, yesterday, and the winner for yesterday's session is Ananya Rajput. Last but not least, we would like to thank our sponsor, breakfast partner Unibic, nutrition partner Yoga Bar, snack partner Licious, energy drinks partner Red Bull, NGO partner Cry, electronics partner Baron Electronics, skin and hair partner Cosmoderma. With this, we sign off for today's event. I thank everyone for being such an amazing audience in the series of Health Shots 2022 for Kanyathon. So with this, I wish you all have a great evening ahead. And thank you so much, ma'am, for presenting with your blessings today. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being patient and showing active participation in this event. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.